So it's recording right there.
I don't think we're going to say very much that's interesting.
All right.
Well, we don't know anything.
That you don't know anything.
Well, no, the one
Is this
thing
yours,
you know, we looked
don't put it
at, he was born in 1923, I think, and he died in 1922. So that 92, the chances are just excellent that he was in our store and that it was in a significant amount.
Mom,
Yeah.
would you just briefly, I think so that you have it on tape, like say like a quick introduction to the Circus of Books and how you guys got involved in the very first place?
Oh, it's such a complicated story.
No, look, we delivered magazines to them. They were one of our magazine distributing customers.
We started delivering Hustler magazine in 1976 when Larry Flint had an argument with this big national distributor, and he put an ad in the LA Times saying, if you would like to deliver Hustler magazine, you know, call this number. And we were selling Daddy's kidney dialysis invention, and we were having trouble with the Food and Drug Administration and the insurance. It was more the insurance for that thing. So we started doing that just as a sideline. Well, since he can't make his machines, let's see if he could sell the Hustler magazines. And so he went around just in the area of Los Angeles where we live, and without any effort at all, really, he'd go into a store and say, "Do you sell Hustler magazine?" And they'd say, "Yes." He says, "If you can't get it from your regular distributor, will you take it from me?" And they'd say, "Well, we have to have it. It's a good seller." And within a few days, he got orders for 5,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first day was 2,500. Then I doubled it.
Yeah. And so we had to wire the money to Larry Flynn. He was in Columbus, Ohio, I think. And they shipped us the magazines, and we brought them around to the stores. And Book Circus was by far our best account for Hustler magazine. But Larry Flynn had two other titles. He had Hustler, and he had a magazine called Chic, and he had a gay magazine called Blue Boy. And Blue Boy outsold Hustler at Book Circus. And we would pull up, we rented a truck, even to just sell those 3 magazines. That's how many copies we'd get. And the customers from Book Circus would come out to the truck, carry in this Blue Boy magazine, open the box, and say, and hand the clerk the money for the magazine. I mean,
they would help unload.
Yeah, they almost didn't have to do anything at Book Circus except show up. And he sold so many Blue Boys that he didn't even have room for all of them in the first delivery. We had to deliver a second shipment. And then he started having trouble paying his bills to us. We said, "How can you not pay your bills when you sell every single thing we bring you?" And it turned out, we heard, that he had a drug problem. Mm. So Barry went to the landlord who was evicting him and said, "During the eviction, if I give you half the rent, will you rent the store to me after the eviction's over?" And she said yes. So that's what we did. And the eviction went into bankruptcy. It took like 6 months, I think.
But that's how we got it.
Yeah, but that's how we got the store.
Paying for half the rent.
Yeah, yeah. And then we hired the old manager who happened to live like not too far from us. We ran into him one day, and and then he hired everybody to run the store just the way it was. And he knew who we were supposed to buy from. That was another thing at that time. Just because you wanted to sell adult material didn't mean you could. The people who printed the adult material really controlled the distribution of it, the very hardcore stuff. And you really had to get it from them. They were a big, they were like, the people who started Book Circus had a really good business plan, and people like Bob Mizer were kind of visionaries. And we're not visionaries. We did, however, thanks to a really good attorney, fight a very good First Amendment fight in the what was that, 19? Yeah, until 1992 when Clinton came in. Then that was when our prosecution went away. And you should know, I mean, Bob Mizer went to jail. We didn't, although there was a chance at one time that we could have. And freedoms like freedom of speech, freedom to see the pictures of people like Bob Mizer and Tom of Finland, those fights are fought on the fringes with material that you know, you may or may not even care about. I certainly never saw the movies that we were indicted for, but you have to stand up for freedom of expression. If you have, you know, now you look back, we look back having had a federal prosecution, and we're part of a you know, group, including Bob Mizer, who said, okay, I don't believe what you're doing, federal government, is correct at all, and I'm going to go back to doing what I think is right. And in the long term, you're proved right. But
and just really quickly, why were you guys indicted?
Because we had an employee who sold something in the Middle District of Pennsylvania to a federal sting operation. Some prosecutor there was looking to do a prosecution on adult material, and he got somebody from our company to sell him some straight movies, actually.
So the government was looking to try to nab stores like yours.
Yeah. So Bob Mizer, you know, the pictures that he went to jail for, I mean, you wouldn't even think twice about those pictures now. It's really tragic, and having been through a federal prosecution ourselves, you have no idea. Had he not been prosecuted, he would have had, like, not even the time he spent in jail, but all the time you spend getting your defenses ready and talking to attorneys and just all the energy you pour into protecting yourself from these prosecutions. They are tremendously draining and time-consuming. So any artist like him who had to fight this fight was completely distracted from his art for a very long period of time. It's really a tribute to his courage that he went back and continued doing what he was doing. And each time the law changed, he was right there photographing, you know, photographing nude men. And I don't know if he ever did erotic. Well, he did do erotic photographs. I mean, he never backed down. He was tremendously courageous. The one thing that we never knew that Tom of Finland or Bob Mizer or anything we did was of interest in the art world at all. And it was Rachel Mason, our daughter, who's an artist, telling us that these people had a following in art that made us even aware that we were even tangentially involved in anything that might be artistic. We owned Circus of Books through a great accident, and Circus of Books has a connection to Bob Mizer and certainly sells a lot of his pamphlets now.
Books.
Yeah, but we really don't know what we're doing at all.